Good evening, YouTube friends and family. This is Laura coming to you with another short video tonight. This one is going to be entitled, I'm Gonna Do Better. Now, we've all made that statement to ourselves. There's some area in our life in which we know that we need to improve. And so every time we falter in that area, we tell ourselves, I'm gonna do better. The hardest thing in life is to admit that we have a fault, or to admit that we have a deficiency in something. But let the truth be told, we're all inadequate in some area in our lives. None of us are perfect. None of us are firing on all points in every single area of our lives, whether it's our relationships, um, our eating habits, our exercise, our thought life, our marriage, um, our parenting skills, our work habits. Um, there's several areas in which we can say, if we're truthful, that we need to improve. Um, that is the hardest thing to admit. But you know that old saying that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And so a lot of us, we go through life trying to appear that we don't have any faults, any shortcomings, that everything is just peachy, everything is just perfectly fine, but it's not. And so, in order to work on an area, we have to first admit to ourselves, not saying that you have to go on a full confessional to anyone else, but you have to admit to yourself, first of all, that you need some improvement in an area. Admission is the first step. The second step is that we have to start setting goals, or setting a plan as far as how we're going to improve this area in our lives. I mean, it's one thing to admit that we have this shortcoming and to say, I'm going to do better, but without a plan, it's just all smoke and mirrors. So that's the second step, to formulate some sort of a plan. I mean, because it's up to you, whatever area in your life you want to change. Change is always possible, but it's always up to the person. And so you have to start by formulating a plan, step by step, um, even if it's baby steps. How are you going to achieve this plan? And never set the standard or set the bar too high, because that right there results in failure. And anytime you set the bar too high and you continue to fail at something, eventually you throw in the towel. You're going to want to give up. So set small increments, and then celebrate your achievements, celebrate your accomplishments, reward yourself for even the tiniest improvement. And that, my friend, is what they call positive reinforcement. And we all know that in order to get someone to change, if we want to see change in ourselves or change in someone else, it's always better to have positive reinforcement than negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement may work for a certain period of time, but we all like to hear how well we're doing. Even, the slightest little progression, we like to hear about it. So reward yourself. And just remember that all change, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. We have to be patient with ourselves as well as patient with others. Also, remember that you can't start that comparing yourself to somebody else. Let's say you and this person, you have the same shortcomings, and this person seems to be progressing quicker than you. Well, as soon as you start to compare yourself to that person, that's another strike against you. That's another way that you're setting yourself up for failure. And always remember this, my friend, to run in your own lane, to stay focused on the prize that you're trying to accomplish. And any change for yourself, you have to do it for yourself. It has to be a lifestyle change for you, because if you're doing it for someone else, it's only going to be a short-lived change. And remember that a race is never won by looking backwards. If you've ever been to a track meet or a race, you never see the competitors looking back. Because you know what? The more you look back, you're losing time. And my friend, you stand a chance of tripping and falling. Oprah Winfrey, she had a goal in life. She wanted to become one of the best talk show hosts, one of the greatest, I should say, talk show hosts on television. And she set a goal to do that. And one thing, if you are an Oprah fan, she loves to quote Maya Angelou. She loves to quote her. As a matter of fact, they became great friends, the best of friends. And Maya Angelou had this quote that she always said, and it reads, "When we know better, we do better." And so I'm going to leave that with you tonight, my friend. When you know better, you do better. Knowledge is the key. And remember, wisdom is knowing what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And then just make sure that you keep your confidence and your self-esteem and stay strong throughout the process. And just know that everything will be okay. And just remember that you are gonna do better. I thank you, my friend, for listening. If you enjoy the content of my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, or share. And until we meet again, bye bye, my friends.